In a restaurant, shows John Belushi in a tattered suit sitting at a table. Gilda Radner in a red dress approaches the table and says, "Hi, are you Brett?" Belushi, "I am. You must be Tracy." Radner, "That's right." Belushi, "You're late." Radner, "You're lucky I'm here at all." Belushi, "Well, are you just going to stand there or are you going to take a seat?" Radner, "Aren't you going to be a gentleman? Get up and pull out the chair for me?" Belushi, "I think you're more than capable of pulling out the chair yourself." Radner, "Whatever." Radner angrily pulls out her chair and sits down. Belushi, "I've never been on a blind date before." Radner, "I'd be surprised if you've ever been on any kind of date before." Belushi, "Excuse me?" Radner, "Never mind. I haven't been on a blind date since the divorce." Belushi, "Someone actually married you?" Radner, "What's that supposed to mean?" Belushi, "Never mind. Anyway, Jill told me she thought we had a lot in common." Radner, "Yeah, she told me the same thing." Belushi, "And I'm already insulted." Radner, "Ha! Me too. You seem like a jerk." Belushi, "And you seem like a skanky bitch." Radner, "I guess Jill knew what she was talking about then." Belushi, "So, how do you know Jill?" Radner, "She's my coworker." Belushi, "So, you're a shyster too, huh?" Radner, "I prefer the term lawyer. I know us female lawyers can be pretty intimidating to you morons, so I'm sure this must be pretty tough for you." Belushi, "Do you wear that same slutty dress when you're chasing around ambulances?" Radner, "Do you even have a job? You look like tonight is the first time you left the couch in years." Belushi, "Of course I do. I sell death insurance." Radner, "What the hell is death insurance?" Belushi, "Insurance for people in case they don't die. It doesn't pay out unless the claimant reaches 200 years old." Radner, "That is the dumbest thing I ever heard." Belushi, "Well, it's great. We just find dumbasses like you, and nobody ever collects. It's a great business." Radner, "That makes me want to vomit." Belushi, "That's something coming from a lawyer." Phil Hartman approaches as a waiter and says, "Hello, I'm Scott, and I'll be your server." Belushi, "About time, Tubby. I've been here for over 10 minutes. Hartman, "Sorry about that." Radner, "Do they pay you in leftovers, fatso?" Hartman, "What are you talking about? I'm not fat. I'm actually in pretty good shape." Belushi, "Hey, fatty, go get me and the lady each a beer." Radner, "Don't order for me, you hobo-looking creep. I'll have a vodka, blubber boy." Hartman, "I'm 30 years old and I've never had anyone call me fat before." Belushi, "Why is that? Do you only run into blind people or something?" Radner, "Yeah, I can't believe you're not called a chubby, dumpy elephant by every person you know." Hartman storms off. Belushi, "God, can you believe how fat he was?" Radner, "I know, right? He makes you look normal by comparison." Belushi smiles. Radner, "You know, I like how you asked him if he only runs into blind people." Belushi, "I like how you asked him if he got paid in leftovers." Radner, "I can't believe you're single. I'm starting to see why Jill thought we'd be a good match." Belushi, "Yeah, me too. Chris Farley as a maitre d' approaches the table. Radner, "Finally, someone who isn't a fat ass has come to our table." Farley, "Folks, based on your treatment of our server, I'm going to have to ask you to leave." Belushi stands up and says, "Come on, babe. We don't need this crappy place. Let's go get drinks somewhere else." Radner stands up and says, "Let's do it. This place has no idea how to treat us assholes." and dead from the earth, we're not a lie. It's Saturday Not a Lie, starring John Belushi, Chris Farley, Phil Hartman, Jen Hooks, Norm MacDonald, Gilda Radner, Danitra Vance, and with many other special deceased contributors. Musical guest, Kurt Cobain, and your host, the Buddha. Everybody, the Buddha. Applause, applause, applause. Buddha. Thank you. Your reception is very kind. I was born Siddhartha Gautama to royal parents, but I renounced my home life to live as a traveling ascetic, which is one who abstains from sensual pleasures for the purpose of pursuing spiritual goals. After some time of leading a life of begging, asceticism, and meditation, I attained enlightenment. I spent the rest of my life wandering while teaching and building a monastic order, one that taught a middle way between sensual indulgence and severe asceticism, leading to Nirvana, that is, freedom from ignorance, craving, rebirth, and suffering. My teachings are summarized in the Noble Eightfold Path, a training of the mind that includes sense restraint, kindness towards others, mindfulness, and meditation. Applause, applause, applause. Chris Farley comes out and says, "Hi, Buddha." Buddha, "Hello, Chris. How are you?" Farley, "Actually, not so good." Buddha, "What's the matter?" Farley, "Our producer, Joe King, told me I had to come out here and let you suck on my tongue." Chris Farley sniffles, closes his eyes, and sticks out his tongue. Buddha, "I assure you, I have no desire to suck on your tongue, nor do I wish you to have to do anything you don't want to do." Farley, "Really?" Buddha, "That's right." Farley, "Wow, thanks, Buddha, you're the best. I was afraid with that video out there of the Dalai Lama asking a little boy to suck on his tongue that you'd want that too." Buddha, "Well, just because a certain priest happens to be a pedophile, you wouldn't assume Jesus was one, would you?" Farley, "No." Buddha, "Well, the same goes for me. I'm not saying the Dalai Lama is a pedophile, by the way. I'm just saying I do not have a desire to suck on your tongue." Farley, "Boy, Buddha, you're so sweet, I almost wish you did." Buddha, "Folks, we have a great show tonight. Kurt Cobain is here, so get ready for songs from my favorite name for a band, Nirvana. We'll be right back.